Hey, this is Craig from Escape the Fate, and you're watching Moolah Chalk, the only TV you need.
How was it for you, starting out as a rock and roll dad? What changed for you?
Um, I can't really say what changed and what was different because I had my daughter very young, so I don't know what touring's like, not having a kid at home to worry about. Um, I guess it's been a blessing. I've gotten myself in some trouble. I've gotten pretty crazy even while having her at home, and that's the one thing that's kind of kept my head on straight. So I think it's a blessing. I don't think if I had that responsibility at home or somebody looking up to me and somebody that needs me to take care of them at home, maybe I would have been a little more nuts as the years have gone by. So my daughter's been a big blessing to me for sure.
Was there ever, a thought that you said, come on, I go, sell records in a record store or something, not going on tour?
I've had those thoughts a lot. Like, I don't need to be out here touring. I don't need to do this. But I mean, I'm not really good at anything else, and people think I'm good at this. So I'll keep doing this while they keep thinking I'm good at it, I guess. It just gets tough when you have to provide for them. You know what I mean? And if you're not there physically, then you at least have to be there to provide for them financially. And when times get tough and money gets tight and I'm out here spending all my time out on the road, that's when it gets really tough. That's when it's like, okay, now I'm gone and I'm still freaking out about money. I would much rather be freaking out about bills at the kitchen table at home with my daughter and my kids than freaking out in the middle of nowhere with no cell phone service and all of that stuff. So times like that happen, but you got to keep your head on straight and push through, and it all ends up working out in the end for the better.
Yeah.
So
It's your job, so.
yeah, it's your job. Got to do what you got to do.
You've done rock music long before Escape the Fate.
Yeah.
But when was your personal decision? Okay, I'm taking over this band now. I'm make it shine again.
It's pretty much I had a falling out. It goes back to the communication thing. I was not keeping in touch well at home. Stuff was going nuts. It was going crazy. I was over here with my band Bless the Fall, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can't do this. Maybe I'm not cut out for it. Maybe I can't be on tour. I need to go home and figure some stuff out. Like, I have to get home. We have like 2 weeks left of a tour, and I'm like, I cannot stay out here for another 2 weeks while whatever's going on back at home is going on. So I flew home. It led to me being out of the band completely, which ended up leading to me joining this band. And, after making the decision to go home and seeing it all end and then getting a second chance to do it is the moment that I put my foot down. I was like, all right, I got to go full force with it. Like, nothing's going to stop me. Like, people never really get a chance in the first place, and here I am getting a second one, So I better not take it for granted.
How was that for you? Taking over something that was already there. It wasn't your baby in the first place.
You just have to come in and make it your own. At the end of the day, a band is all about the music. It's not about the people in it. It's about the message the band is delivering, the way the music makes people feel, all that stuff. People get into music because of the music. They don't get into it because of one specific person. And it took me a long time to figure that out. But after a while, it just this is my band. This is my. I can't even remember where I started from at this point because this is now everything I've known. This is my band. I'm the singer of this band, and it'll always be that way. And if it's not that way, then the band's done. I can't see anything else other than that at this point.
Well, and you went pretty far with Escape the Fate now. I mean, you even did, I don't know, Australia, New Zealand tours.
Yeah, we've been everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, yeah.
Well, what did you, South America?
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
Oh, it's crazy down there. I don't know if it's because bands don't go down there too often, but it's just, they really make you feel welcome out there. Like they freak out. You feel like a celebrity when you're out there. You know what I mean? And I always enjoy it because the energy at the shows is always just to the max, pushed to the limits. And I love when shows are like that. You know, the roof, the walls are sweating. They're singing louder than you're singing. It's just shows like that are always a great experience. And I haven't played a show in South America that's been weird or awkward or quiet.
Yeah.
They've always been that crazy. So every time we go down there, I'm like, yeah, I'm so excited. This is gonna be fun. They're very friendly down there, and it makes you feel welcome. You know, if you're going out of your comfort zone and you're going to a different place that you're not familiar with, and the people are being mean, you get like, oh, I gotta get out of here. I don't like being here. But I've never felt that way in South America. They're good. Australia, same way. A lot of places out here are like that, but a lot of places, for some reason, a lot of places in Germany, I get weird feelings. And I don't think that's because they're being mean. I just think they have an aggressive language. It's a very aggressive language, you know? Yeah. So, like, you'll ask where the bathroom is, and they'll tell you, and you're like, okay, I'm sorry. It's like they're not being mean at all. It's just a very aggressive language, and I kind of like it.
Well, rock and roll now, rock and roll started out as rebellious music, of course, still is.
Yeah.
But time goes by, you know, the first rockers, they're all dead. They're pretty much dying.
Getting there.
Who were yours when you started out? Was there a certain person where you said, man, this is a fucking awesome dude, man. I wanna do that. I wanna go on tour.
I remember my very first concert. I left going, man, I need to do this for a living, and that was a Linkin Park concert. So I mean, Linkin Park is still,
yeah.
You know, if we're talking about rockers like Lemmy, they're obviously still a brand new band compared to someone like Lemmy. Yeah. But that was my first concert, and that was the first time I left wanting to do what this was. But the first time I thought a band was really awesome and like, man, is it possible to do this, was Aerosmith. And there was a Aerosmith arcade game at the pizza shop down from my house that I would always play. And you'd pretty much just be shooting CDs at enemies and stuff like that. Aerosmith has always been like that. We just had a day off in Paris, went to Disneyland Paris. There was an Aerosmith roller coaster there, and I'm like, of course Aerosmith has a roller coaster. They had an arcade game back in the day. And I'd say that's probably the first band that I'm like, damn, these guys are really, really cool. I want to do that. And they kind of, them and my dad's CD collection is what kind of opened up the floodgates for me. And then I just got into different stuff from there. And obviously, you know, becoming an artist myself and touring the world, you start getting into other things and bands you tour with. But yeah, that was probably the first rock band I got into, was Aerosmith.
Yeah, well, Linkin Park, they're now old dudes, you know. Yeah. It's as fast the business goes, yeah.
I mean, at this point, I've been touring for 10 years, so what the hell? Yeah. What is going on? Ooh, I don't even want to think about that. Time just goes by way too quick. And it goes by quicker the older we get.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I want to just hit pause or hit the slow down button sometimes. Like, slow down. Enjoy it.
Yeah, no chance for that.
Nope, there is not.
When you see how the rock business evolved over the years, I mean, let's say 20 years ago, yeah, you had to go on tour, of course. This is still the same. But all the things around, back in the days, you had to do one video, you know, a year.
Now it's like you got to be on top of it. That's back to what we were originally talking about, was the communication thing and social media and the internet, and everything is so readily available now that people get over stuff a lot quicker. You know, stuff gets old a lot quicker. So you have to constantly be on your toes and constantly be releasing stuff and doing something new and keeping it fresh. And although that's fun, it does get very tiring. You know, I think back then, man, doing one video and then selling out an arena and making $1 million, it sounds pretty nice. It sounds pretty nice. And touring was the thing you had to do, you know. That was the only way to get your name out there, was to tour. and see the world. And
It still is.
it still is in a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But I miss when it was like that. I wish it was still like that. People lining up at the record stores the day your record's coming out, you know? That must have been fun.
Or imagine Guns N' Roses, destroying, not hotel rooms, but halls,
People still try to do that. I say people, but I've tried to do that sometimes. Let's destroy this place, and now people just look at you stupid. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? It's our hotel room, man. Why do you want to break stuff? It's like, I don't know, because it's fun. That's what we grew up knowing. I don't know, man. Trying to be a rebel. Now you're a rebel if you steal a towel. I took this towel from the hotel room. Ooh.
Well, I was talking to Duff McKagan about this. He's like, you learn when you have to pay for the whole thing.
You do learn. You do learn. We had a big after party in Vegas once, and I remember the manager telling me something that probably should have never been told to me. And it was, you know what, man, we're going to take a bunch of videos tonight. The label's here. Let's show them what you guys can really do. Let's just fucking trash the place. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm like, are you sure? I was like, because I'll have some fun tonight. So if you're sure, just tell me. He's like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, okay. And once I had to slide my card at the end of the night, and it was $10,000 worth of damages, I learned that maybe it's not that fun. Maybe it's fun if you have the money to pay for it. But that definitely was not fun the next day. Things can get out of hand very quickly. Very quickly. It can go from fun to really wrong like that.
Yeah.
So you just gotta watch yourself, man.
Yeah.
And you get older and you mature a little bit, and you live and you learn, for sure.
One thing, when you're on tour, and there's like not the person to talk to, do you start writing, like not really for the music, but for yourself? Stuff you might use in 10 years or something?
I've dabbled with stuff like that. I come up with most of my music stuff while I'm sitting on the toilet, though. That's my secret. But yeah, I do that sometimes because, I'm in a bus right now with 15, 16 people right now, and even though you get crammed in a vehicle with people, it is very easy to feel lonely on the road. It's a lonely place, See the same people every day, and sometimes you have those days where you don't really have anybody around that you can talk to, and it might just be a lot of personal stuff that you don't want to put on anybody because everybody's everybody's going through personal stuff. We're all out here trying to get our job done. You don't want to be Debbie Downer, negative Nancy,
Sure.
So you do. There's a lot of moments like that, and the way I deal with it, I'll pull out my cell phone and go on my notes, and I'll write sometimes, or I'll just our sound guy in the store has caught me a couple times. I'm just standing in the dressing room like this. He's like, "What are you doing, man?" I'm like, "Just thinking, man. Just trying to find a place to be alone." Or you find the closest bar. You go sit down and just have a drink and relax. Sometimes you just need the peace and quiet.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Thank you.